Hey, did you know that there is free money, or in Josh's words, newfound money that's out there for you to be able to get right here on the Fearless Investor Podcast? You're going to learn about the ERC credit and how it might apply to your business. Hey, welcome into the Fearless Investor Podcast. You're listening to me, Kyle Stanley, and we have just a really quick message today from Josh over at ERC Specialists. As you know, I'm always trying to bring you the best guests to be able to grow your short-term rental business. But for those of you out there that already have a short-term rental business, and especially had one through 2020 that maybe hit some hard times, this is a great opportunity with the ERC that a lot of you might know, the employee retention credit that started back in 2020 when COVID came around. This is a renewed opportunity for you to go out and get some of that money that you may not be told about from the IRS or from some professionals around you, because it's not being spoken about that very much. So I want to show you with Josh here about the opportunity for you to go get some newfound money. Let's get to it right now here on the Fearless Investor Podcast. Hey guys, what's up? We're here on the Fearless Investor Podcast with Josh Zieglowsky with ERC Specialists. He's one of the co-founders of ERC Specialists. And you guys know I'm always delivering high quality content to you with our guests, mainly talking about short-term rentals. This is a little bit different today. And one of the reasons I'm really excited about having Josh on the show is because if you owned a business back in 2020 that took any sort of dip, you might have an opportunity to get some free money out there. And you know, maybe Josh, you want to change the term there, but I kind of call this free money. So I want to just introduce you guys to Josh today. I want to give you a little bit of information, and I want to give you some simple next steps to go see if you qualify for this ERC credit. But Josh, welcome on, man, and appreciate you jumping on here for a few minutes.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you, inviting me on, and I'm always happy to talk about what I'm doing. So
awesome. So what are you doing? Why don't we just start there with a real simple question?
Yeah. Well, I usually start, obviously there's a new thing out there with the pandemic called the ERC, Employee Retention Credit. But I like to kind of back up a little bit on kind of get my background. My background's commercial real estate. So I've always been a triple net lease, retail, flex industrial, medical and dental buyer, investor. I found this business or this opportunity more so because I was trying to find money for a side oil business I was a minority owner in. And I don't know if you remember, but price per barrel was negative $50 a barrel one day in 2020. Wow. So yes. I was trying to find extra stimulus to help that business just make it through the pandemic. And in March of 21, we heard that President Biden amended this and said, hey, if you got PPP, you can now get ERC, because it actually started at the exact same time, but you can only get one or the other. And so with that, I started looking into it. I reached out, because it's through the Treasury Department, my CPA, which is Robert Kiyosaki's CPA. Wow. And they basically said, hey, we don't amend, or we don't work with your payroll credits or payroll reports. We do your active 1040s and your 1120s. So you should talk to a payroll company. Basically fast forward, payroll companies were saying, hey, we don't amend this. We just do active returns. We're basically a software company. You should probably find a third party that can help you. And so I looked online, I was like, man, maybe I can help business owners on the side. Now, fast forward, there's been, a few different things in the middle that's happened, but, we just surpassed 30,000 businesses we've helped, and $5 billion of credit achieved.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome, man. So going back to when you applied, I just want to, kind of give people an opportunity to hear a little bit more about that story. When you applied, what did that look like? How much money were you able to get to your business? And what was the reason that you decided, hey, I want to go and help other businesses do that?
Yeah, we had about 20 employees, and this program is up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. That's the max. We got about 80% of that.
Wow.
And, there's a couple qualifiers. Obviously, this is when you talk about the word free, we like to say newfound money, because nothing's free. But, this is up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you have under 500 employees, and then if you had a 20% revenue loss, had a partial or partial for full shutdown, or a supply chain, you can then qualify for this. And, PPP was technically, I'm sure a lot of your audience got PPP or EIDL. PPP was technically a loan that was forgiven later. This is forgiven the day they get it.
Wow.
And they can use it for whatever they want. In PPP, they had to disclose what they're using the money for. And so that's what makes this even even a bigger opportunity because, you can take it if you own a pizza joint and because this is a true story. We've had this pizza company add another pizza store. What does that do? It adds 10, 15 more jobs and more money for the business owner that was trying to get through the pandemic.
Nice. So what are some other qualifiers then of the type of person that can take advantage of this?
Say it one more time.
What are some other qualifiers for someone that's thinking, hey, does my business qualify for this?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So when it started, there was only two qualifiers: one, 500 employees or less, or a 20% revenue loss. Those were the kind of the easiest ones.
Nice.
Well, there's a lot of people, it's like, man, I made a lot of money in 21. So then late 21, the administration changed it and they made it easier for the business owner to get. That's why even Forbes did an article a few months ago that said 80% of business owners actually qualify for this, yet 7 out of 10 don't even know about it. I tell everyone, do not pre-qualify yourself because we don't charge anything up front. We charge a percentage of the credit when you receive the money. So, because the one crappy thing with the program is it does take 6 months for the IRS to send out the money.
Okay.
So let's say someone's approved for $500,000, they will wait until to get our fee, which is in that case, $75,000 when they get it. So we don't charge anything up front until they actually get the funds. And so that's what makes us unique. And I tell people, don't pre-qualify yourself, submit your information, and then we kind of tell you if you qualify or not.
Awesome. And so what does that process look like? If I'm going to go try to sign up with the ERC specialist to get qualified, do I have to do that myself? Do I have customer service to help me through the way? Like, what is that process exactly?
We've made it very simple, and I think that's what a lot of people like about our process is we've made it like the Henry Ford conveyor belt,
Nice.
the same guy is putting on tires each and every day, out of 10 different steps. And it's the same thing with this. The same person's, really good at that particular piece of their department. And so with it, what they do at the very first is they'll take 5 or 10 minutes. They'll go through a questionnaire about their business. We don't even ask for a credit card, nothing. At the very end, it'll tell them if they're pre-qualified. In other words, it will tell them that, or if they're declined, like, hey, based on your answers, you don't qualify. Well, if they are pre-qualified, we'll give them the pre-qualifications pretty close, but not the number. Because what we're doing is if you have 10 employees, it's going to show $260,000 potentially, and it'll show up to. Then they upload some documents, their PPP, their 941 quarterly reports, and a payroll report, at which time it takes us 2 to 3 weeks to come back and say, hey, we originally told you 260,000, looks like you were approved for 200,000 or 210,042 cents. Like, it's to the penny because we have to calculate certain things based on their 941s. Then we ask them, hey, if you're ready to do this, just click the DocuSign, sign it, and then we'll file it. And then we'll wait the 6 months until you get your money.
Yeah. And I actually went through this process myself. It was really seamless. Took about 15 minutes. And then I contacted my Paychex payroll specialist. They got me the documents, sent it over to you guys. And then now we're pretty much in the approval process. So that's awesome, Josh. Is there anything that people need to know about in regards to this that I didn't ask?
So I always tell people is I want everyone to vet this. If you're sitting right here like, gosh, man, that's just too good to be true. A year ago, absolutely. I started every presentation. I know this is too good to be true, but let me tell you why I want you, what I want you to do to vet this out. Number one, go to irs.gov, type in, ERC or employee retention credit. You'll see, you can go, 280 pages worth of documents. Talk to your tax professional, your CPA, your enrolled agent, even your payroll company that you're using, right? This is more of a payroll credit. So they'll have an idea about it. But I always tell people is if they come back to you and say, hey, no, we'll actually help you with that, I'd be a little disappointed just because they should have told you about this a year and a half ago. And we specialize in this. If you're going through a divorce, you don't call a real estate attorney to defend you. You call a divorce attorney. And so we work with your CPA. We don't want to take over your taxes or anything like that. It's just something we specialize in.
Perfect. Josh, thank you so much. This is information I think a lot of people don't even know about that's out there, like you said. And for that reason, I'm really excited to give everyone this opportunity. So all you guys have to do, if you're listening, watching right now, if you're watching on YouTube, just click on the link in the description right now. If you are listening on the podcast, just simple as clicking on the show notes here, and you can click on the next step to be able to get pre-qualified by Josh and his team at ERC Specialists. Josh, thank you so much, man. And looking forward to giving out some newfound money. I like that term a lot better. Newfound money to our audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Hey, and everyone, we love referrals as well. So if you know anyone that could benefit from this, please let us know.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh.